Hello everyone, and thank you for joining the SoftEngine monthly webinar. Today's demonstration will feature SAP Business One's very own fixed asset module. Today we are blessed with not one but two of SoftEngine's very own SAP Business One consultants, Jay Lee and Ado Sadovich. In this 20-minute presentation, they will create an overview of the fixed asset module and dig a little deeper into the setup of the master data. Once an add-on, this is now considered a core functionality of the SAP Business One system. I could say more, but I think I'll leave it to the experts. Take it away from here, Jay.
Hello, I am Jay Lee, and I am an implementation consultant here at SoftEngine. And today we will review SAP Fixed Asset Module. SAP Business One Fixed Asset Module used to be an add-on, but it became a core SAP since version 9.0. It is very easy to turn on the feature, and we will show you how. Before we get into the details of SAP Fixed Assets, let's quickly review what fixed asset is. As many of you already know, fixed asset is a company's valuable assets and usually very expensive. So the company wants to track all the details of those assets from the purchase to the end. The asset is recorded in the company's general ledger, going through the below transactions, from asset purchase, monthly depreciation, to the end of its useful life. As you can see, there aren't many transactions involved, so there is room for an error. That is why we decided to run this webinar and introduce you guys what SAP Fixed Asset Module can do for a company. The key words here are accurate, transparent, compliant, and streamlined. And now, let's take a look at what we've got. Today, we will review SAP Business One Fixed Asset Module together. We will talk about Fixed Asset Module setup and configuration first. We will review account determination, depreciation type, depreciation area, asset classes, and attribute group. Then I will let Ado speak about fixed assets module and some of fixed assets transactions. Fixed asset module provides accurate and transparent depreciation expense journal entries by automating the posting process of between fixed assets and your company general ledger. Also, many financial regulations influence fixed assets reporting requirements, including tax and transactional notification obligations. SAP Fixed Assets will allow users to comply with those requirements. Basically, fixed assets will streamline the management process, which improves the overall profitability of your company. In order to enable fixed assets, you first have to turn on the feature. Go to Administration, System Initialization, Company Details, Basic Initialization. You'll see a checkbox, and you can you can choose to depreciate by month or by day. We can also define numbering series for fixed assets item. Go to System Initialization, Document Numbering, double-click on the items, and you can define fixed assets here. Now, let's go to Setup, Financials, Fixed Assets, and Account Determination. As you can see, you can create different account determination for different types of assets, and only the accounts defined in the below determination window will be used for the particular transactions. For the training purpose, we created different types of account determinations for flatbed, dump truck, box, and tank trucks. Let's move on to depreciation types. For the webinar, we already defined two types of depreciation. Heavy vehicle straight line and heavy vehicle internal. One for external purposes and one for internal purposes. For heavy vehicle straight line, we have straight line method for depreciation, and calculation is done by dividing acquisition value by total useful life. SAP supports 7 different types of depreciation methods, and we will provide a documentation explaining all different types of depreciation methods at the end of the webinar. Let's move on to depreciation area. We have set up a depreciation area for internal purposes, and we set up a depreciation for GAAP reporting. You have 2 options to choose posting of depreciation: direct posting and indirect posting. Direct posting will debit depreciation, credit asset, and indirect posting will debit depreciation and credit accumulated depreciation. You have 3 types of depreciation here: posting to GL, additional area, which is just information purpose only, and derived area for special depreciations. Let's review asset classes. In this window, you assign depreciation area, account determination, depreciation type, and useful life. Each fixed asset will be assigned to one asset class. Think of attribute group as properties in Business Partner Master and Item Masters. You can create 64 different attributes and assign to your fixed assets. As you can see, there are different types of asset classes and different account determination is set up.
Thank you so much, Jay. Now we'll go to Ado and he'll provide us further details on fixed asset master data.
Let us look at our example. We have the new tank truck that this company purchased at the beginning of the fiscal year. First, we define this truck as an asset master data. In the item number drop box field, we will select the type of the truck that company is buying. In this case, is a tank truck. As soon as we select, the item code appears in the field for the item code. On the beginning of this webinar, we showed how the automatic item code assignment is configured in document numbering window. Next, we'll go to Fixed Assets tab. Please notice under Overview tab, asset class is already selected. This is due to user-defined value assigned to the asset class field. This is advanced configuration that will ensure the right class is selected to the asset being created. Once the asset class is assigned to the asset master data, all related definition will apply to the selected asset. In our example, the tank truck belongs to the heavy vehicle tank truck asset class. The reason for having different asset classes in this company is the account determination definition being different for each truck type, which enables the system to automatically select the relevant GLL counts for assets accounting. In Cost Accounting tab, this company is using cost accounting for their internal calculations. The last step is creating tank truck asset is to assign department distribution rule to this asset. We created this distribution rule to allocate indirect expenses to more cost centers. In this case, to multiple departments within the company, 5 departments with 20% for each. Let us click Add button to create fixed asset for the tank truck. Now we are moving to activation of tank truck asset, acquisition or capitalization. The user can purchase the fixed asset using AP invoice. The AP invoice automatically generates capitalization document. Enter capitalization date of the assets by entering the capitalization date into the posting date. We select tank truck asset on the AP invoice, along with all the departments distribution rule. Now we can click Add to create a AP invoice for tank truck. This action will trigger the creation of capitalization document. Depreciation run is the next subject. In the depreciation run window, we specify depreciation area and depreciation to date. Preview window is to preview the details of the depreciation run before we execute it. Posting date, we specify the posting date for the journal entry, which is today. Consolidate journal entry rows distribution rule checkbox. Select this checkbox to consolidate the journal entry rows by distribution rules. Results window is to view the details of depreciation runs that we have executed. Transfer. This window is used to transfer an asset to a new asset or asset class. Asset transfer transfers an asset to another asset. Asset class transfers an asset to a new asset class. We can perform the asset class transfers only if the asset uses the depreciation types with a no depreciation method in all areas during the transfer period. We'll show this in later steps. In this exercise, we'll do asset class type of transfer. This asset is moving from one class to another due to GL determination set of accounts is decided to be different for these two types of trucks. Refrigerator box trucks and versus box trucks. Now we'll select the asset and its new asset class to be transferred. At this point, we'll go into the asset master data and change the depreciated type under Fixed Assets Overview tab. You can perform the asset class transfer only if the asset uses the depreciation type with no depreciation method. Again, we are mentioning this. So for this purpose, we create a depreciation type called MV transfer, which uses the method no depreciation. After we finish transfer, we'll change the depreciation type back to its original types. Now we'll add the document by clicking button Add. We'll go back to our transferred asset and change back the depreciation type to its original types. Straight line and internal. With this being done, we are finished with asset class transfer. Note, asset class transfer document cannot be cancelled. However, additional transfer can be created to reverse the transfer transaction. Retirement. In this example, we will do retirement sales through AI invoice. Company decided to sell one of its truck. One of the first steps is to open asset master data and make sure the item is configured as a sales item. This action will allow asset to be sold. So in this case it is. Now we'll enter selling price for the asset. Once we add this invoice, the retirement document will be created in the back process as well. With this, we will conclude the process of retirement sale through AR invoice. Next is to cover reporting for assets and distribution center assigned. The reports for this are located in fixed assets menu, fixed assets report, asset depreciation forecast report, asset history sheet, the status report and transaction report, along with a report in cost accounting called distribution report. So let us quickly cover each briefly. Asset depreciation forecast reports. New assets which have not been capitalized and assets which retired in fiscal years before the forecast period are not displayed in this report. The balance sheet account can be selected. Please note the selection available in the GL account with the transaction only. This can be summarized by distribution rule, and if in this case we will be able to select dimensions. Asset status report, asset history sheet report. In this report, it is important to select period and sub-periods for the report. Asset status report. Here we select display active fixed assets. asset transaction report. Asset classes are selected from 2. In this report, we can select individual transaction type to report on. And finally, distribution report. This report provides information about total overhead expenses and the expenses in each cost center according to distribution rule. We use the report to get a clear picture of overhead expenses posted by specific transactions and distributed amounts in each cost center. As a dimension, we'll use departments and distribution rule from department to department. We use the same. We can select the posting date if necessary. In cost center, right side area of the report, we have displayed the distribution amounts for each cost center.
SoftEngine, solutions that impact the bottom line.